Welcome to 6 North. We're a medical palliative unit at DISCHARGE Hospital. My name is Cindy. I'm the patient care coordinator. Discharge planning is a huge part of what my job is. It is quite hectic because we have palliative care, which isn't the traditional palliative that it was 10 years ago. They're very acute and there's many things and many interventions that are happening with them. The patient load does get quite heavy because there is quite an acuity even with the palliatives and obviously the medical patients for sure. It's very important. It's a key piece to have the physicians involved in this project because the goal of plan or the goal of care starts with the physician. They're the person that is leading this, and we are all part of the support system so that we can all work together.
My role is more of a liaison physician, so I attend the workshops with our multidisciplinary staff, so our social worker, our nurses, etc. And I feed back to our doctors via some conversations when I see them and also through email. We also have some meetings coming up which will try and get more doctor involvement as well. To move things forward, you need to also get the involvement of the staff that agree for any changes, so this is what we're trying to do here.
Initially, the team would get together with the PCC, and after a while we were really realizing that the frontline nurses are such a valuable part of this team, so how do we bring them into rounds and really appreciate them and recognize that their time is so valuable. So we did a lot of trials by changing the time of our rounds, so for the nurses it seems better in the afternoon, so they were all getting together in one of our central sites and then gathering their chairs and sitting comfortably and then going through rounds. And that was taking so long. We really worked with nursing, and then we decided to change the times that the morning was still the best time for everybody to get this information. Then we realized that if we're going to have the nurses participate, it's best if they walk from station to station, because then that'll keep the rounds more timely. And also go to the nurses so that the nurses can sort of just come out of their assignment very quickly, then really focus on discharge planning. I think that at least 70% of them overall are seeing that this is making a positive difference. Nursing is now thinking differently, a little bit more involved in the critical thinking that's required of their scope. I see my role as quite valuable in supporting them, providing them the positive reinforcement that they need to continue this, asking sometimes those hard questions that, coming in objectively, letting them know that it's not to devalue or undermine any of the good work that they're doing, but it is my role to sometimes ask those questions and really keep them focused as to once patients have met medical goals, then what's next, what's the best place for them, and are we doing this in a timely manner and getting them to the right place.
What I have been taught and practiced prior to coming here is the eye care focused discharge planning. So I've got some cards here that I use, laminate them, and I give them out to the staff. They're very focused questions, very specific to discharge planning. Finding out the basics of the patient, where they're from, their living situation, how they mobilized prior, because you want to get them to be at baseline as soon as possible to get them home as soon as possible.
We're trying to make it easier for the doctors to see what's going on with the discharge process. So we have a checklist that we have, and we've made it a new order so that if a doctor can foresee someone going home soon, there's a 72, 48, 24-hour discharge checklist that they can initiate as an order, and it would make it easier for the doctors and the staff to start and process the checklist and make it safe and timely for discharge. Trying to involve the patient more by having a whiteboard in front of them that they can see what's done and what needs to be also completed before they can go home. So we're trying to give them more autonomy as well and involvement, so hopefully some patients like the idea of getting better and getting home sooner.
One of the most valuable pieces, I think, is being able to have your entire allied health team participate and be there. And I know that that's incredibly valuable, and when we're missing some of the team players, that really slows the process.
The nursing staff are very proactive in their way of communicating every morning on the rounds on this floor. Plus, any messages or concerns of patient medical care can be sent to the doctor also. So there's more of a team effort, I think, in the discharge process.
Teamwork is one great thing that I find here, that we all work really well together.
Just like any change, it takes time, it takes building a culture, it takes a lot of patience. You know, don't get too discouraged. Some days may not work out as great, there may be other priorities, but not to give up and to have faith that, yeah, there is a better way of doing things, and hang in there and just, you know, believe that this is a good thing.